Peace. Islam, peace, peace, peace. All right, gonna speak on something real quick. Right, gonna make some sense. Islam, peace. All right, so just gonna speak on Moorish Americans real quick. Make some sense out of some questions people have. You have people in different areas, that are saying, why aren't they Moorish American? Right, because they're in North America. Right, Central America, South America. So real quick, we're just going to make sense out of this. Islam, peace to everybody here, right? All right. So I'm going to say this and I'm probably say it again real quick. All right. We have the United States of America, right? Obviously, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali came here, set up the Moorish Science Temple of America. You proclaim your nationality, right, as a Moorish American, okay? You have Canada, right? You have Mexico, right? Mexico is actually Estados Unidos Mexicanos. How many of y'all knew that? Look it up. Not making this up. When you get a Mexican passport, if you're from Mexico, you get a Mexican passport, it says Estados Unidos Mexicanos because that's the official name of Mexico. Mexico has several states, just like here does, right? And so when Estados Unidos Mexicanos, when they travel, they're called Mexicans or Mexicanos, okay? I know this for a fact, all right? When people from the United States of America, Estados Unidos America, right, Americano, all right? When you travel, you're called Americano, American, all right? Because you're from the United States of America. That's the official name. The official name of Mexico is Estados Unidos Mexicanos. That means the Mexican United States. That's what it means in English. The Mexican United States. For real. Right? And so living in Brazil for 5 years, right? I was called Americano because I'm from the United States of America, right? That's what it says on the passport. When you look at nationality, it says USA, United States of America. And when you look at the Mexican passport, seriously, for people from Mexico, what does it say on there? It says Estados Unidos Mexicanos because they're from the United States of Mexico. United States of Mexico, they travel, they're called Mexican. United States of America travel, you're called American because we're from the United States of America, not the United States of Mexico. All right? Plain and simple. People from Jamaica came to Brazil. They called Jamaicanos. Right? Jamaican. All right? If Jamaica wanted to call itself the United States of Jamaica, that's what they be. They don't call them Americans. They're from Jamaica. Mexicans are from the United States of Mexico. That's the official name. We all call it Mexico, just like people call the United States of America, America. But it's the United States of Mexico. All right. And we'll say properly, Estados Unidos Mexicanos. In Brazil, they call this, instead of USA, it's EUA, Estados Unidos Americano. Okay? Estados Unidos. The same thing. United States of America. And that's the United States of Mexico. Right? So if you're from Canada, Canada has provinces. It doesn't, but the official name of Canada isn't the United Provinces of Canada. It's not the Canadian States of America. It's Canada. Right? So let's go back to this. If, say you are of Jamaican descent, say both of your parents are Jamaican, but they were born in New York. Say you're Jamaican, but you're from Brooklyn. You have a uniquely American experience. Not only were you born here, your parents were born here, but you grew up in New York. You're American as hell. You might be used to, eating Jamaican food and stuff like that, but you're American. Like Busta Rhymes, you're American. You decide to proclaim your nationality. You finding out about the Moorish American thing. When you declare your nationality, you are Moorish American because you're from here. Now let's take it somebody who's Mexican, right? who's of Mexican descent, but they're from like California, right? There's actually several states, California, Arizona, Texas, where it used to be Mexico. And say that you have people in California who's Mexican, of Mexican descent, and they've been here longer than there was a United States of America, right? They never even been to that Mexico, the Estados Unidos Mexicanos. They never been there, right? Their family was in California when it was Mexico, all right? And so, they don't even have like family connections to people in that nation state of modern day Mexico, but they're Mexican, right? And he's from California, which is America, United States of America, not Estados Unidos Mexicanos. So when he proclaims his nationality, because he's up on it too, guess what? He's Moorish American. Now, if some Mexicans that's in the Estados Unidos Mexicanos want to proclaim their nationality, they're up on it. They want to open a temple. They want to do it too. Guess what? They're Moorish Mexicans. Or, in Spanish, maybe they're Moreno Mexicanos, right? But they're not Moorish American because they're from the United States of Mexico, and we are from the United States of what? Of what? Of Mexico? No, we're from the United States of America. And when you travel, you are called American. They are from the United States of Mexico. And when they travel, they're called what? American? No. They're called Mexican for short. But the official name is Estados Unidos Mexicanos. The official name here is Estados Unidos Americano, or the United States of America. Same thing. They're the United States of Mexico. This is the United States of America. Now, some people, because the only reason I post this is just to teach. You have some people that are like really ignorant and they don't travel. They don't go anywhere. They don't know anything. And so they shouldn't be running their mouths, but they do. But this is the truth. You can look this up yourself. Like I said, this is not well known for some reason because people don't know. It's the United States of Mexico, right? And like, who would expect you to know that? Like, do you know how many states Mexico has? The only reason I know Brazil has 26 states is because I lived there for 5 years. How many people know that, right? People don't even know Brazil has states. But I know that being there...
People don't even know they speak Portuguese in Brazil, not Spanish.
Exactly. And I can speak Portuguese. And I could also understand Spanish as well. So I'm not saying this as an ignorant person or somebody who ain't never been nowhere, just looking at stuff online. Like, I'm telling you for a fact. So, like, if you're from Canada, for example, and you wanted to open up a temple, you want to proclaim your nationality, you be Moorish Canadian. Because you're not from the United States of America. If Canada wanted to call themselves the United Provinces of Canada, you know what I'm saying? It's still Canada. They're not the Canadian States of America. They're Canada. Mexico, like I said, there's some people in that the United States of Mexico want to do it. They are Moorish Mexican because they're from the United States of what? Mexico. Somebody just said in the chat, Estados Unidos, Ecuador, right? United States of Ecuador. So if they want to do that in Ecuador, they'd be Moorish Ecuadorian, right? And like, there's a brother in Trinidad. Actually, there's a couple brothers in Trinidad. One of them, shout out to the brother King Tut. He raps. You know what I'm saying? They want to, build a temple. They want to proclaim their nationality. They're from Trinidad. They are Moorish Trinidadian. Okay? Now, because you have a lot of Trinidadians here too, like especially in places like New York. You're from New York. You're from the United States of America, but you're of Trinidadian descent. Then, you proclaim as a Moorish American because you're American. You're from the United States of America. Plain and simple. There's no confusion about that, right? So you want to say America's a continent. No, you could say it's a supercontinent. It's two continents. They split it up, subdivided North America, Central America, South America. Now, you can say whatever you want and be like, well, why can't we all just be American? Because it don't work like that. Why can't Mexico, why don't they just stop calling themselves the United States of Mexico? Take that up with them. Why don't they stop calling themselves the United States of Mexico and call them the United States of America, so that you can be happy, so that they can start proclaiming themselves, calling themselves Moorish American. That's not how it works. They have organized as the modern nation state of Mexico, the United States of Mexico, just like somebody said in the chat. And it's not United States of Mexico, it's the Mexican United States. Estados Unidos Mexicanos. So I'm not making this up. I'm trying to be exact because I know that, right? It's Estados Unidos Mexicanos, United States of Mexico, not America. This is the United States of America, and that's why it's called America for short. Just like that's the United States of Mexico, and it's called Mexico for short. All right, and that's how come when you are from the United States of America and they ask your nationality, you can say American. And the United States of Mexico can't say that. They're going to be looking at their passport, looking at them funny. It says on here, okay, on your passport, right here on the cover, it says Estados Unidos Mexicanos. What are you talking about? Then open it up, looking there, it says Estados Unidos Mexicanos. It's like, dude, you lying. You're not from America. Because America is talking about the United States of what? Of America. The United States of what? Of Mexico. You can disagree all you want, but you have real life countries that have real standing armies, have their own constitutions, right? Filled with states that each have their own constitution. And they all agree that this is the United States of America. And those in Mexico agree. That's the United States of Mexico. Canada, they don't even call themselves states. And they don't call themselves Americans either. They're Canadians. The only people who would disagree about that is ones who following us. They see what we're doing. They want to be down. And there's nothing wrong with that, but do it properly. You would proclaim to be Moorish Canadian because that's what you are. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's where they are for a reason. Not down in Canada, not down in Mexico, not down in the United States of America. I'm not down in anyone. You are who you are. You have your own unique experience for a reason, That's the truth. You can't change truth, right? Look, truth cannot change, all right? It can't. That's a key. That's a lesson for you. So, it is what it is. But we just put that out there because that's the truth, man. These are the modern day nation states. That's how it works. Somebody will say, oh, it's not a nation, it's a corporation. Guess what? Each modern nation state, may incorporate on paper to announce to the world that they're organizing as Uganda, but that doesn't mean that Uganda is just a corporation. Just because Indonesia incorporated to announce to the world, hey, Indonesia is made up of like thousands of islands, right? Or 1,000 islands. A lot of y'all don't know this. So they got all these islands together and they're going to say, hey, we're Indonesia. And just because they incorporated on paper at some point doesn't mean that piece of paper is what Indonesia is. Get out of here. It's a nation. All right? They have a standing army, You know what I'm saying? They might not have aircraft carriers, as sophisticated as ours, but they got that stuff too. You go in there trying to take one of them islands talking about, this, y'all just a corporation. I'm going to take that. Like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to find out that they real, they legit. And you misunderstand. I'm talking about a Haitian born in North America can't proclaim Moorish American. Dude, if you by North America, you mean Haiti? Haiti is what? Central America, right? It's in the Caribbean. If he's from Haiti, he can proclaim as Moorish Haitian. Now, if he's from New York or Florida or North Carolina or something like that, obviously he's American. Get out of here. What's hard to understand about that? And then why are you trying to down that? That's crazy. It's a nation. It's a recognized nation. It's legit. There will be Moorish Haitian if they even wanted to go that route. But if they're here of Haitian descent and this is where they're from, you know what I'm saying? They have citizenship here, then they would be Moorish Haitian. Moorish American. It's like, duh, dude, just use that example, like somebody's Mexican and they're from California. I say that because there's a lot of Mexicans in California that are from California. They're not from the United States of Mexico. They don't even have family ties down there because their family's in California and they've been there since before it became a state. And it's like, what would that make them? They're Americans. They don't have citizenship issues. You know what I'm saying? They don't even have that issue because they always been here. And so it's like, if somebody like that wants to proclaim, they would be Moorish American. It wouldn't even be Moorish Mexican because they're American. They're not from the United States of Mexico. They might be of Mexican descent, but California was Mexico. Los Angeles was started by a bunch of, Afro-Mexicans that look like us. You know what I'm saying? They're American. The brother said, where did the prophet put on a nationality card of the brothers from Japan? That's a good question. I can't answer that, I know you had the one for the Cubans and it said Cubano Americano. It didn't say Moorish American. You know what I'm saying? It said Cubano. All right. And that might have been because they were, here. They had citizenship here, but in practice, if they're going to establish that, because it was set up in Chicago, so if they're going to be in Cuba, they're going to be Moorish Cubans. And then you said a Haitian Moor got deported like last year. Like I saw the interview where the Haitian was talking about like how he was trying to go off this stuff that some of these reckless people be saying like, oh, I'm Moorish American, and he's thinking he can bypass the whole citizenship process and just go to a temple and he's good. He's Moorish American. He can stay here. Nah, it don't work like that because this is the truth. Because he was Haitian. He was Haitian, bro. He wasn't American. All right. And some people, anybody who didn't tell him that, they failed him big time. Because I saw the interview he said where he had to go sit in the little camps that they have for people to get deported. It's messed up. And he was going through the citizenship process. He should have finished that. You can't just go to the temple and proclaim and, oh, you're an American citizen now. No, this is the United States of America. We are Moorish American because we are from the United States of America. Don't get it twisted. That's just real simple. If you're from Mexico, you're from the United States of Mexico. That's it. And that's how come when they travel, they're called Mexicans. They're from the United States of what? Don't say America. They're from the United States of Mexico. And that's how come when they travel, they're Mexican. And when we travel, we're American. Because we're from the United States of what? America. This is America. I'm not saying that they don't call all these land masses, North, South, Central America. I'm saying, even with all that said, this is America. This is the United States of America. All right? And that's how come when we proclaim, we're Moorish American. And that's how come if we wanted to set up a temple in Brazil with the Brazilians, they would be Moorish Brazilians. All right? Moreno Brasileiros. And the temple would be the Moorish Science Temple of Brazil. Because that's Brazil. It's a country. Instead of having the U.S. flag and the Morocco flag, it's going to have a Morocco flag and a Brazilian flag. And it'll be the Moorish Science Temple of Brazil. All right? So that makes sense, right? That's simple, but that's true. Like, some of y'all never saw it like that. They're from the United States of Mexico. And when they travel, they're Mexicanos. And we're from the United States of America. And when we travel, we're Americans. They don't just call this America. It's not just a nickname. This is the United States of America. That's the United States of Ecuador. And they're called, Ecuadorians. And that's called Ecuador for short. They call this America for short. But it's the United States of America. All right? They don't include Canada and Mexico and all that. They don't. Matter of fact, you got to go through what? Border Patrol. You got to go through customs. If you travel, you know this. You got to go through customs. All right? And you got to have a passport, right? So that's real. They don't include like United States of America and that's Jamaica, all this, Trinidad, Argentina. Oh, no. These are separate nations. All right. So we're not going off of what you heard and what you think and what sounds good and trying to make people feel better because they from Canada. Like, bro, if you from Canada, be proud, be Moorish Canadian. If you from, if you from what, Cuba, be proud of that, Moorish Cuban, right? And the only way you will be Moorish American is if you're from here, even if you are of these different ethnicities, because, we all have several different tribal lines, right? How many tribes were there in North America? 500 nations, right? So we all have different tribal lines. We don't all look the same, right? So that doesn't mean that we're not, one people, all right? But at the same time, we're talking about these modern nation states. All right. Nobody said anything about MST if A has a passport. Let's be real. When I travel, I use that passport. It says Estados Unidos Americano, United States of America, because I'm from the United States of America. Right. If I was from Mexico, I have one that says Estados Unidos Mexicano on there. But I don't, because I'm not from Mexico. I'm from America. Now you get it, right? If you don't get it, I guess you need to watch this all over again because this is real simple. Real simple. United States of Mexico. I'm not making it up. That's the official name. Get mad at reality if you don't like that, but that's the truth. And this is the United States of America. And yeah, if people are selling cars and they charging more than $5, they crazy, right? Because they selling some stuff that you can't use anywhere. So keep it simple. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Peace and love. United States, Estados Unidos Mexicano, and this is Estados Unidos Americano. Americano. So this is the United States of America. That's the United States of Mexico, and that's why they're Mexican, and that's why we're American, right? Yeah, you can send a text just on the side. Peace.